Ladies and gentlemen, it's CopingMAGA, also known now as Right-Wing Cope Time. Let's jump into this bitch. This is a serious thing that they're posting about. I'm not going to cover it. But yeah, Alabama Senate votes to make hormone therapy and surgery for trans youth a felony. Please do me a favor and go on the YouTube. I think they allowed it to be posted. Please go on the YouTube if you want to find out my views on trans people and the entire. No, it didn't upload. Right, I need to put the pieces together. I'm gonna have a piece on YouTube about trans people and my belief on that. The bill also requires school staff in the state to disclose to parents that a minor's perception of his or her gender is inconsistent with his or her sex. Essentially, teachers would be required to out transgender students to their guardians, regardless of whether they're ready to do so. Jesus, that's gonna be suicide. That's fucking sick. People, guys, fucking people, humans. We have passed March 4th. The Trump still hasn't returned to the presidency. Wonder how the Trump supporters are going to rationalize this. The liberals rigged the calendar also. Yep. Q Army. I'm sick of not knowing the truth. I'm sick of all the false promises. I'm sick of all the cryptic messages. I'm sick of Trump not telling us what is happening. He's no longer president. Surely he can tell us everything and confirm what Q told us. It's like he's hiding from us. Please, someone tell us. Please be patient. It's God's timetable, not ours. What the fuck does God have to do with any of this shit? This is politics, not a fucking fairy tale. None of this makes any sense. Why isn't Trump doing anything? Why isn't he doing what Q said he would? This is what I mean about the fallibility of man. We can't figure out that some dumb troll on 4chan shouldn't be listened to. We want to go to Mars? Oh, man, it's a rough scene over there. QAnon believers, when the big date comes and goes and literally nothing happens. Oh, yeah, it's all coming together. Oh, yeah. Nah, I can't allow that word in chat, sorry. But yeah, yo. It's so weird. It's like people believe this. I remember this one. Yeah. The Bible guarantees it. Trust the plan. And I'm saying to y'all, you don't have to own Q. But like now you have a congressperson that believes in Q. Like what? Where are you not understanding the outrage? Where are you not understanding the holy shit, stop that person? Like, am I stupid? I feel like I'm dumb. I feel like you can clip this if you want. I feel like I'm so fucking stupid that I just can't wrap my head around how you get logic from this. Like, literally nothing of what Q has said has come to true. And yet people were flying QAnon flags during the insurrection. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, South Dakota's population is about 900K and they've had 113 COVID cases in total. Doesn't seem to be just fine. Masks don't work anyway. South Dakota never had mask mandates and they did just fine. Also, we did well without masks doesn't mean anything. You would have done much better with masks. That's not how logic works, yeah. I live in Massachusetts and I'm quite happy with Charlie Baker says he refuses to lift the mask mandate. The worst thing here, a faulty website for vaccinations, yeah. Okay. I know for a fact South Dakota was sending patients to nearby states, but COVID was passing for them late last year, so no, South Dakota was not just fine. An admin from our local school system died because they had to keep ping-ponging him in and out of the emergency room since they had no way to keep him when he was stabilized, and eventually they couldn't get him to ER quick enough. It was bad out here for a hot minute. Yep. According to MAGAs, our state was just fine means I didn't die from the virus. Yep. If there isn't 100% death rate, and this is the problem, and this is what I always said about pandemics. And I know people, you always said this, you've only been streaming for a couple of months. I've been doing a lot of political shit before I got on the Twitch. And I said out of my mouth, it's not going to be bad if people think they can survive it. Because if this said it kills every other person it touches, we'd all be living in fear. Masks were politicized, and that is a mistake. Masks were only politicized because people chose to politicize it. It wasn't echoed the right way. I'm not even going to go into the whole Dr. Fauci thing. Yes, he made a huge fucking mistake in not espousing from the beginning. The reason why I said I don't want to wear masks is because I don't want the stock to be depleted, because I know it won't be replenished and people will go without masks, so we'll be forcing them to have to wear anything, and they're not going to listen to that, and there's too many confusing directions, left, right, up, and down, about how to get people to do this without them thinking about oppression or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, masks were politicized because people chose to politicize them. Like the whole fact that Marjorie Taylor Greene really wore a mask that said this mask is as useless as Joe Biden, then why the fuck did you wear it? See, it's the owning themselves. To own the libs, conservatives will own themselves. The WHO and Fauci backtracked a lot from the onset. There's so many videos explaining that shit from a point I don't even want to go into it. But let's just put it this way. There is no way to know science as a verifiable fact when something new comes up. That's like us saying an asteroid hit Earth from an alien planet and we should know everything about it from the beginning. Not the fact that, oh, we discovered something, we're telling the public about it, and then we figured out that that thing had a little bit more nuance to it, so we tell the public that. That's not backtracking, that's updating your information. That's how science works. I feel like a lot of people don't know the scientific method or the process that is involved, because most of us Americans are usually aware of scientific processes at the second and third steps, and we've never been at the first step. So this is where we end up when we end up at the first step. Conservative cell phones. ShamWow guy. Anyway, you can think what you like. It won't change the facts. You're right. And the facts are using they, them in reference to a single person as their pronouns is improper grammar. And that non-binary is just a meaningless term that my generation came up with because they didn't get enough attention from mommy since daddy left to get milk for 18 years. And in his own sentence, as their pronouns. Literally saying the thing. Literally saying the thing. Also, the APA style guide actually changed this rule, so now they, their, them can be used to refer to a singular individual. Not that it even mattered before, but there you go. If anyone wants a cookie, they can take one from the jar. If Mike wants a cookie, they can take one from the jar. One of these sounds natural, the other awkward. This is because they is a variable, not a singular. I'm a liberal, but the point goes to the MAGA this time. That doesn't make any sense. They is a variable? Then how come in Spanish you can use they to refer to a singular person? What? No, that doesn't work. That's stupid. You're dumb. You're fucking stupid. You got ratioed. Is there a way we could start kicking out these white cis liberals who just continue to play devil's advocate with people's lives like it's an academic exercise? Yep. Like the fact of saying like non-binary is just a meaningless term that my generation came up with because they didn't get enough attention from mommy since daddy left to get milk for 18 years. Like, is it wrong for me to assume that you're talking about black people? See what I mean? The milk joke was a thing about black people. Like, that was the meme. Tyrone's dad left to go get milk and never came back. Like, it's CopingMAGA time, baby. We in it for the deeps. We are telling our children that what the fuck is this? We are telling our children that Dr. Seuss is racist and Mr. Potato Head is transphobic. Nobody says that, and nobody said that. But Cadbury Eggs thought a new commercial of two gay men sharing a chocolate egg was wholesome family entertainment. Keep that in mind when you're buying Easter candy this year. American tipping culture. Hey, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm not homophobic. I just don't like when it's forced. This shouldn't be considered forced. At this point, it should be considered normal for POCs and gay people to exist. Let us exist. Exactly. See, when straight couples share chocolate like that, it's just cute, wholesome fun. When the gays do it, they're doing it sexually and unwholesomely and probably in bondage. Yeah. Get ratioed, fucking nerd. Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, we got a video. Trump is coming back.
I got something to say to all you Democratic retards. Y'all have not a brain in your fucking head. You can't fucking comprehend common fucking sense. Y'all are stupid as fuck. And you need to understand Trump is gonna win. And you dumbass, retarded motherfucking Democrats that can't understand what right and wrong is, y'all are wrong as fuck. And everything y'all say is fake, false, and fucking phony. Republican all the way, bitches.
President Trump, if you see this, please save us. I don't even see our American flag anymore.
That's a lie.
I'm just talking with some kind of crazy flag. This is America. This is our land. Please, President Trump. Please, I hope you have a plan. God, please save us. Save us from the devil, please. Y'all, I'm about to have a panic attack.
This is so good.
This is our country. Our country. This is awful. God, please save us, please.
Oh my god. Oh my god. All right, don't do the fat shaming. Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, don't do the fat shaming thing. Trump supporters told us for months that he was going to become president again today. I'm still patiently waiting. That is what I wanted to talk about today, but I'm not going to do it today. I will do it in the next stream. We need to talk about a guy named Robbie Starbuck. We need to talk about a guy named Robbie Starbuck. But before we get to that, this shit blew my fucking mind, bro. Get away. Go over there. This man is down cataclysmically. Like, holy shit. He took a picture with Caitlyn Bennett, and what does his shirt say? This shirt is 100% cotton. That's why I picked it. She thinks my tractor's sexy. Yo, this is literally Get Out. This is the plot of Get Out. Right there. Right fucking there. Why would you do that to yourself? Oh, it's a joke. I'm just making a joke. Like, but you keep talking about like how we need to get over racism. Then why would you wear a shirt like? Why would you? It would be funnier if she wore it. That would be hilarious because she's making a joke with a black person about how like, oh, we used to make black people pick cotton. And like maybe there was some discourse there that led her to believe that this idea is bad. You wearing it, you might as well have put on a slave outfit and made the same joke. Yeah, and this is what like threw me off. Caitlin and Joel Patrick came to my school's campus last year, which is why we don't want these people on campuses anymore. Joel was so much worse than her, just yelling at black students for their parents being lazy. He kept saying how he's not black, he's American. Notice how the majority of the white people who believe in this will say, I'm American, we're all Americans. Yet they will literally point at Chinese people and say, or Asian Americans and say, you Chinese people brought the virus here. I thought we was all Americans. Down. Oh shit, I hiccuped. Cataclysmically. Never seen a self-owned so bad. All right. Candace Owens regarding scientificamerica.com. Yeah, .com though, like I said, that means it's making money. I don't trust that. If it was a .org, I would probably take that, but this is just a random website. Meanwhile, CandaceOwens.com. Candace Owens feels like the final boss of grifters. Final grift boss pool. Everybody pick Candace Owens. When your leading intellectual is being dismantled by a stone guy who comments on guys fighting in cages for a living, you might want. Anyone can go on Google domains, name cheap, and get a .org. There's no requirement of anything. It's the same as .com. Conservatives will do about anything to casually dismiss something without having to use real arguments. Candace should go visit adhominem.com or .org. The information is the same no matter what the site calls itself. Yep. And apparently she is a front runner. Yo, she's been talking about running for president. See, this is why I say I can't let this shit slide. Like, I can't let that shit slide, bro. Dr. Seuss's trending lockdown version. Things I will put up your ass if you come near me with that vaccine. Sounds gay. Sounds gay. Things I will put up your ass if you don't put on that fucking mask. Yeah, and there's a ripoff of that one. Wow, that's sick. And that's not a thing on. I'm literally attacking the thing that they don't want to be called. I'm not gay. I just post memes about putting stuff up my ass if you go give me that vaccine. I mean, yo, if butt play is what you like, do you? You know, I'm not against it. I'm not saying something now, but I'm not against it. You know, do you? Just, you know, the hyperbole of you needing that in order to like be your last defense against a vaccine says a lot about you.
They have now banned 6 books from Dr. Seuss.
They did not ban anything. Who's the they?
Dr. Seuss. You can no longer print these 6 books. If I Ran a Zoo, and I think I saw it on Mulberry Street, Beyond Zebra, Scrambled Egg Super, The Cat's Quizzer. This according to a panel of educators and experts. They are banning Dr. Seuss books. How much more do you need to see before all of America wakes up and goes, this is fascism? This is fascism.
Fascism is when a private company decides to do what they want.
What is wrong with us, America? Go out and buy those books today. Find out if you can get them.
And if you can, does that mean that they're bad? Like, the problem I be having is that they say this shit out loud that makes no sense whatsoever, and then people just swallow that shit.
Buy Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, because it's the end of an era. It is the end of freedom in America.
How the fuck did you reach there? You see what I mean? That's why I be getting upset, because it's like you just made a point that like 6 books aren't allowed anymore. Because the publishing company, not the woke left, the publishing company said, no, we're not going to print those anymore. And all of a sudden you talking about some bullshit.
You are bullied to the point to where you better not have that book.
Bullied to the point where you better not have that book. Nobody's saying that. This is a guy. That's a guy. Fucking potato has a gender. Because it's the end of an era. Freedom in America's gone, guys. We can't call people Mr. and Mrs. anymore. When you point to Denmark as a paragon of socialism, you're really singing the praises of capitalism. Why do you oppose Denmark-style policies then? You guys literally call similar policies socialism and communism in the U.S. Double-speaking propagandists. Yeah. Didn't you say a $15 minimum wage would destroy the economy? If anyone independently brought up one of Denmark's policies, anyone who does videos for PragerU would call it socialism. I'll do a 1v1 debate against Dennis Prager and obliterate him with facts and logic. He will walk out of it crying while mourning the loss of his male potato head toy. Yo, that's why I'm down for the debates. I'm down to swing. Because, like, it's too easy. It's too fucking easy. It's almost redonkulous. that they really like hold this moral high ground on them to say shit like this. Like, what are you doing? What, boy, hey, boss. Hey, boss. Hey, boss. What are you doing? Hey, boss. And like, it's so bad. What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing, kid? What are you doing? What are you doing? This is content. I love this shit. No party has moral high ground, but unfortunately, one party is for acknowledging border laws and the other isn't. That's a lie. Because I could take that same sentence and say, border laws versus who's crossing the border. Nobody cares about white European immigrants. That's not even the point of the conversation. It's not even the point of the conversation. Nobody cares about good immigrants. We're only trying to stop the bad immigrants. How do you stop bad immigrants? How do you know who's a bad immigrant and who's not? You would need better immigration laws, right? A better process to doing that. So why don't we build that instead of demonizing the people who are crossing the border and just calling them all rapists, criminals, blah, 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 this and that, drug sex traffickers, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. Bad immigrants are those who refuse to enter legally. It's that simple, sadly. Well, then, how do you explain America? That's a bad faith argument. Bad immigrants are those who refuse to enter legally. You mean people that don't have a choice, like children? You mean people who get into the country and provide the goods that we currently use for very cheap labor that capitalism continues to support by exploiting them because they know that they'll take the job? Are bad immigrants people who do things that are bad, or because the legal process to get into the country is very difficult? You know, some illegal immigrants are people who are let in by detention facilities and by ICE to then just be immediately revoked back after a couple of years. Now, you might say that's not true. I don't know about that. I got somebody who literally is in the army who was an illegal immigrant, but they let him serve in the army. How did he get past that? See, the problem with phrasing this argument is that it comes down to a moral standing. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just going to drop that. This is my new cover photo. It has to be. Why would Sonic... Yo, okay. See what I mean? It's like, it's not hard to find this shit. It's not hard to look at this and be like, what the fuck is going on here? Yo, why would Sonic be a furry? And why? I'd rather be vored by a dragon than vote for Joe Biden. Like, these are your litmus tests. Yo, Republicans right-wingers are so weird. Right-wingers are so weird. 9 out of 10 climate scientists say global warming is real. 17 out of 17 intelligence agencies said Russia collusion was real too. Russiagate was not a hoax. I'm not even going to go into that one. Maybe Sonic supported the South. You don't know. I'm 110% sure that Sonic's literal goal was to liberate the animals from the oppression of Dr. Robotnik. Like, I'm sure that you could make it. Oh, are we going to find fucking racial imagery in Sonic too? Like, see how easy it is to have that conversation? Because if you look a layer under it, what is the story about? What can it relate to? You could write articles. You could write dissertations on this. It's not hard. It's been done. Google it. When you date a white, it's not all right. Propagation of whites is propagation of hatred, oppression, homophobia, sexism, transphobia, racism, and ableism. This will not be tolerated. You have been warned. Emerald City Antifa. Pretty confident the guy who posted that was the one who put the poster up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because that shit don't make no sense. That shit don't, like... like, nobody thinks like that, yo. Nobody fucking thinks like that. Like, propagation of whites is not something... Y'all just love to be victims. Y'all crave that victim shit. Y'all crave that victim shit. You have to. That's the only reason you would even say some dumb shit like that. Oh my god, this is content. I needed this today. Matt Walsh, CEO of Awful Takes. Children need a mother and a father. This is one. Have you ever considered Twitter is the worst of the worst people posting their opinion? Anywhere on earth is that. I could go into. I did that. Oh, you got. Obviously, you wouldn't have seen that. Go check the YouTube and go all the way back down to before I started like uploading VODs. I had a conversation about that, about where the worst opinions lie. So I went directly into like internet communities that are not like on super top web open. What do you call the fucking surface of the internet? Surface web. I mean, that's pretty much what it's called. The surface web. I like looked like deep down into these communities. Nah, these are not the worst takes. These are not even remotely the worst takes. Like I have people like literally have tried to dox me for asking, "Hey, what's this group about?" And they saw my profile picture. Children need a mother and a father. This is one of the most basic human truths. It hasn't changed just because our society has lost its mind and its soul. It should be illegal for adoption agencies to place a child in anything but a stable mother-father home. People are asking if this means I'm opposed to single people adopting kids. Yes, absolutely. I think children need and deserve a mother and a father. I do not see either the mother or father as expendable. That's my view. Nearly everyone had this view until like 12 seconds ago. That is a totally baseless, fail-safe statement to preemptively gaslight any criticism by calling it hypocrisy. Saying something like that is just arguing in bad faith and admitting that nobody agrees with you on this. Honestly, the straight parents are better than gay parents bullshit is enough to prove that these people do not care about facts at all. The data is as clear on gay parents being as good as straight parents as it possibly could. Like, yo, is there links? Let's go. Posting links. Let's go. You don't even need fucking scholarly data on this. If we're all human, then what the fuck does it matter? There you go. Bingo. I finally figured out a gotcha. That's the gotcha argument for this, and whatever else. You could probably stem 20 other things inside of this argument. If you don't see color, if you are absolutely tolerant and you just don't want shit pushed in your face, then why would you have a problem with gay couples adopting a child? You are asking for gay people to not have families. Hey, Matt, what happens if your mom dies when you're 13? Your dad has 24 hours to find a new wife before Matt Walsh just fucking kills you. Yeah. Oh, man. In between the excess of censorship and violence, there's an important lesson for conservatives in gaming. Are video games the last refuge of manhood? Conservatives should be interested in video games. Here's why. Meanwhile, they throw fits when you can pick your pronouns in COD. Yo, facts. Yo, facts. Why am I responding to this message right now while I'm streaming? I'm fucking bugging. I'm stupid. Mad dumb. Aren't conservatives also the ones who want to ban games for violence? Why are they saying censorship and violence? Because they have to pretend it's the libs who want to ban games for violence in order to appeal to young white men who often play video games and identify strongly as gamers, who are most susceptible to far right radicalization. Yep. And I just talked about that with the Modern Warfare 2 lobbies. Oh man, he's just like me. Dr. Seuss has been saved by Patty from Florida. Happy birthday, Dr. Seuss. I won't cancel you. Conservative Trump supporter, love to laugh, and mom. Yeah. Dr. Seuss also cheated on his terminally ill wife who committed suicide afterward. The woman he was having an affair with later became his second wife. No one, literally no one. Republicans, husband, wife, dad, mom. It's always the people with the live, laugh, love signs that end up having the police show up over a domestic call. Yep. Oh shit, I needed this so bad. I can't believe our campus only has one safe space. This college needs to be canceled. Imagine living in such an amazing country and being so not oppressed that you actually have to create something to be offended by. He literally Scarecrow 5 it, yeah. Like, it's amazing that they would post this knowing full well the bottom half of this is what you live by. Why do the angry liberals in the memes always have glasses? Yeah, that's another thing. It's cold shit. The irony here is that the top part of the image is a made-up scenario. They are literally doing what they advise against. The victim complexes of conservatives never fail. That's why the second image is someone fighting a scarecrow, because it's a straw man argument. I could be wrong here, but every time I see conservatives bring up safe spaces, do they just call people wanting to be respected and treated normally safe spaces? Like, what the fuck is a safe space? Yep, a safe space is where bigotry isn't tolerated and being hateful will get you immediately ejected. Thus, they're a huge threat to right-wingers. But the one thing they use against people is that some safe spaces are usually labeled something like XYZ minority only, which I could love to talk about, and I can explain to you why that happened before like the space gets open, only for them to talk with people with the same background, and they see that as bad because it usually excludes white men political talk to focus on IRL experiences, which is why I kind of like the Jubilee debates and stuff like that, because it does put those people in those rooms. Yes and no. White cishet men are usually banned in such areas because they're physically incapable of shutting up and constantly want minorities to explain and justify themselves. There's only so many times we can answer, but why do you deserve rights without popping off? For the love of God, tell me you're joking. People have actually asked you, why do you deserve rights? Don't get me wrong. I know they think it, but to actually just say like, fuck it, I give up. I'm moving to Mars. And we just had a whole conversation on that. It's not exactly that. It's stuff like, what's the purpose of affirmative action? Isn't that racist? Why can't you just be a gay man? I just don't get why there must be so much diversity nowadays. Yeah. It's literally like the rundown of issues. And for some reason, like, you invite a white dude into the space and he just doesn't get it. Just doesn't fucking get it. You're a leftist? I bet you're the type of person that uses pronouns. Everyone has pronouns. Only radical communists use pronouns. I had a thing on Twitter with somebody who like was talking about trans people and like how it was some straight up transphobic shit. Like, it was just like the whole thread was like basically asking for the killing of trans people if you were to not even accidentally sleep with one, but if you were to start courting a trans person and then they told you they were trans, or you found out like before they told you. And they were like, yeah, that person should get killed. That's why trans people get killed, because they're not honest, blah, 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 this, blah, blah, that. This is the type of shit that she was going on. Like, we started from there, and immediately she was like, well, I could tell you're a racist communist. I'm like, do you even know what fucking communism is? Like, do you even know? Societies need to remind themselves of their history. Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. The fact that you want to take down Ranger statues is proof that you know nothing about histories. How many statues of Hitler and the SS generals does Germany have? None. And that's a huge problem. This is 4K. Oh, thanks. Germans trying to remember who was that one leader during World War II was without a statue. Literally none, and that's a huge problem. Caught you in 4K talking about they should have. We just never fucking did the right thing after Reconstruction. Let's be honest. That's why this whole thing is happening. We never did the right thing after Reconstruction. He's not wrong. The majority of the population in most of those red counties could be sheep. People can take a look at this and still say Biden won the election. LOL, you are all repeating each other. You are all fucking sheep. Land votes. You liberals are repeating yourselves, projection. At the end of the day, everyone wants to be comfortable in their own skin. I'm going to tell you this. That is true. The problem is that there are some people that think that the openness of people trying to be comfortable is having it shoved down their throat. And that's a shame. Because if you would take a second to step out of your like bigoted views, not you, of course, but like you would see like that is the normality of it. that there is a gay pride parade. Like, that's normal. Except that's just the way it is. If you guys are wondering what actual feminism is, it's Donald Trump having the courage to stand up on stage and call out the insanity of biological men dominating women's sports. He never kowtows to the left. Standing up for women is when your sexual misconduct allegations have a Wikipedia page this long, according to Candace Owens. My God. My God. Oh my God. CVS receipts be like... Yeah, Candace Owens is a living embodiment of the Chappelle speech. Yep. Shit like this.
And it went like...
Weird. Weird. Okay, that's why they changed the white ring coat. I think I covered this already.
This alone should be reason enough for Democrats to suffer withering losses in the midterms and to lose the White House decisively 4 years from now. Actually, as you know, they just lost the White House, but it's one of those things. But who knows? Who knows? I may even decide to beat them for a third time, okay?
Like, he's admitting his loss because he has to run again, and people are still like, he's the legitimate I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get the cognitive dissonance here.
With me? Who has a feeling that Trump's gonna come back? Who's with me? Can I get a like and follow? We got this, y'all. Trump 2021. Let's do it.
Trump got reinstated. It wasn't clear in the dream how it all went down exactly. But he got up at the podium after the switch and said, once again, sorry to keep you waiting, complicated business, and just felt like all was right with the world. I've never been so bummed to wake up. Praying, hoping, crossing fingers. I've had a couple dreams about Trump. He was a loved and loving family member in both of them. Yikes. Yikes. You dreaming about Trump?
I'm sad for our country. I'm angry that January 6th happened the way it did. Never will I condone violence on any side, but maybe you should ask yourselves why things happened the way it did. They've had us on lockdown, censored
They had us on lockdowns. Everybody was on lockdowns.
us beyond belief, lied to us, rigged our elections, reported nothing but fake news, taxed us while giving billions to other countries. Maybe Congress should take a step back and say maybe it's our fault America is so angry. And Democrats, you opened the door to this reaction because for the last 4 years, you've allowed your supporters to harass docs and assault us. We watched as you defended inexcusable actions by BLM and Antifa, destroying businesses, burning down cities, murdering those they don't agree with, all while the words domestic terrorists slip out of your mouths like butter when referring to us. Where was that energy when your supporters were wreaking havoc across America and still are? You must not remember when you praised anti-Kavanaugh protesters as they stormed the Capitol, or BLM when they set D.C. on fire, yet you say this is the lowest point in American history. Crack open a book about American history and then get back to me, because I will not be lectured on morality by the same people that stayed silent and watched as cities burned down all summer long. Save me your outrage.
Cities did not burn down. Fucking hell. Cities are still there. Fucking hell. The cities themselves grew from this and have... This shit is depressing. Somebody please let her know she's allowed to breathe. Donald Trump Jr., my dad showed Republicans don't have to lose gracefully. Coke boy. Yeah, this tweet. This was the one. To be more inclusive, will Disney change Darth Vader's iconic line to Luke, I am your parent? Yo, it's always, attack helicopter! Every time. Attack helicopter! I identify as an Apache! Attack helicopter! Literally, I just want one better fucking joke. Where we'll end up if we don't act soon. What's your problem, you little bigot? Haven't you seen a lady pee before? Mommy, that's not a lady. Shh, we aren't allowed to speak the truth anymore. Yo. Even in their worst fear-mongering what-if scenarios, they're still mostly just scared of having to teach their children about transgender people. God forbid these people have to be parents and set a good example. It's not even a fear of teaching their children. They just use the children to justify their transphobia. Like, think of the children, despite children often being way more likely to accept trans people for who they are. Yeah, they think some children are going to have some type of scarring or trauma from seeing a trans person in the bathroom. It's just more baseless. And I always say, isn't your bathroom in your house gender neutral? Like, do you care? Do you care that much? Like, trans people have walked in your bathroom with your kids already and nothing happened. Like, pedophiles are what you need to be worried about. If you think pedophiles would use transgenderism as a gateway to harm your children, then you care about pedophiles, not about transgender people. But you can't sit and focus on one thing at a time. You got to shoot your darts. You got to shoot your whole clip into everything because that's just the way we are. The year is 2052. I hug my pillow and clutch my Cara Dune action figure as I watch my bootleg copy of The Muppet Show. I hear the sirens. They're coming for me and I don't have much time left. I whisper goodbyes to my illegal Mr. Potato. Yo, what the fuck? I refuse to believe this is not satire. He works for the Bee, so he thinks he writes satire, but they're literally unable to actually write satire. Like, that's that's so far, dude. The Bible. Don't build golden statues. Damn, I wish I could read. Yeah, things like that. Trans ageism, that doesn't exist. I don't think that she was pushed into a point of legitimacy. I think she was mostly ridiculed. That's dumb. Like, there's no trans ageism. Like, there's no such thing as that. Like, don't do that to trans people. That's a fucking joke. Like, March is National Stop Blaming White People Month. Accept responsibility for your own bad choices. Hug a white person. They pretend like acknowledging systemic racism means blaming every individual white person for everything. They're leaning so hard, you tell CopingMAGA being being completely nuanced and paired as a trademark of the MAGA crowd. They think in black and white, yeah. It's because on the other side, it's white people bad and the other is no, we ain't. Of course, they'd rather go to the right on this issue. It is historically true that white people have, in fact, been bad and set up systems that have fucked people who weren't white over that we still have work to tear down. I'm not going to like that comment. No shit is true. It's just that you have to consider how you word yourself so that people wouldn't instantly turn away saying, fuck you. When you shun people instead of educating them, they rather listen to others who sound nicer to them. That's true. I've said this before. Optics is a huge conversation that I want to have with you guys much later down the line, and where I think the left as a whole, and I mean everybody, has failed miserably. Optics. And it's not their fault. This isn't like a thing where it's like you specifically said something that would like attract negative attention because you mean well by it, but people don't get it. It's the type of climate where you're in where they're already defensive. So hearing logic and you have to appeal to them at their lowest common denominator while not lowering yourself to that standard when you want to pronounce these ideas. That's true. I could give you that. Sorry. I'm white and nothing ever made me ashamed or guilty for just being me before people started crusading around like this, begging for superiority, masquerading as equality. It does make us all look terrible, lol, even though it's supposed to do the opposite. Why do you feel ashamed and guilty now? Do you believe it's wrong to ask for equality? This picture is not asking for equality. It's gaslighting the struggles of minorities by playing the victim. White people's constant abhorrent racism and inability to take minorities seriously or respect their perspectives is incredibly shameful and reflects poorly on me. I don't know if I misunderstood you the first time, the second time, or both. Yeah. I would have totally like took that off topic. That was good.
Fuck your homie dead. Fuck your homie dead. Fuck your homie dead. Most of their ass got hit in the head. Fuck your homie dead.
Trans people exist. Why even take a political stance on this? This is why America's so divided. Even cookies have to be divisive. The cookie didn't even take a stance. It just made a correct statement. I bet if Oreo tweeted white, straight, cis male Christians are oppressed, they would be praising Oreo right now. Facts. Facts. Segregate cookies from cream. Facts, though. All right, that's 45 minutes of this. We're going back to some other stuff. I'll end this on this one. Dems, all you need to do is follow the science. And I love how they tried to post this, not knowing that, like, and I'm going to use this with my mouse. If you follow the road, it's fucking straight. All of these are very easy to follow. This one is also straight. This one is just a roundabout that leads you down there. This one right here is a roundabout that leads you down there. This one is another roundabout that starts off from here, but allows you to bridge to the upper one and not the lower one. The bottom three down here are all straight fucking lines. And the thing is that the road isn't even complex. I guess literally anything is enough to intimidate these people. They'll just get some wiggly lines and shit them. Just get some wiggly lines and they'll shit themselves. Literally. Yesterday, why should I study science, biology, physics? It is useless. I will never use it. I will not be a scientist. Today, 5G gives cancer. Vaccines have mind control. Chips for the New World Order. The earth is flat. I saw it on YouTube. Can we talk about lobbies in the U.S. political system and, more importantly, Republicans' undying loyalty to... Yeah, we could have a large conversation on that. I will need time to gather some links. Thank you for that. I will need some time to gather some links so I don't talk out of my ass, because I'm not going to fucking talk out of my ass. Okay, CopingMAGA, done.